Hi there, my name is Kelli Slemp. I'm a licensed and certified speech-language pathologist and making these videos during the coronavirus outbreak for parents and caregivers so that they can work with their children at home. And today we're going to learn how to say the SH, sh, and the CH sound as in ch or cheese. And so the first thing I'm going to show you are, of course, visual and tactile cues because that's my personal favorite. And so whenever you're doing the SH sound, we'll always do the shh. I always say to my kids, oh, does mommy ever say this to you? Shh. And they'll think that that's funny. They'll say, no, she never says that. I was like, oh, we should practice telling mommy. Shh. Tell mommy. Shh. And then every time we say words, as in shoes, I'll always use that same. And it's just a visual cue. It's tactile if you're helping them with their little finger or your little finger. You're gonna have your lips out like this. And your tongue is actually gonna be in the same position as if you were to stick your tongue out like, And sometimes we'll practice sticking our tongue out in the mirror. I have a little mirror that I'll show them, be like, show me how far you can stick your tongue out, or, tell your friend, and we'll just practice sticking our tongue out, and that's so that they feel the sides of the tongue tighten and the point of the tongue is going to be pointing straight out. But all of that is happening inside your mouth with your lips pointing out. So there's lots going on here. So that's our first visual and tactile cue. Shh. So even if it's at the end of the word, as in wash, car wash, you say car wash. Again, if you're focusing on SH, that's the only sound that I care about. And you're going to start in the initial position of words, followed by the final position of words, and then in the middle position of the word. So for example, the word washing machine, even though it's an SH and a CH, it's actually both the SH sound. So be careful whenever you're picking out words. If you're not using a website like Mommy Speech Therapy or articulation cards, you just want to sound out the word and make sure that it actually is that SH sound. As a little hint, a lot of T-I-O-N words are the shun sound. And so that's a little hint of some words that like creation, that would actually be SH. So just sound it out in your head. If you want to do that little cue, that's a fun one. But the first thing we need to do is make sure that your child can blow. And that is formed with the lips. And then a lot of times I might push on their little belly if they are not remembering or you're first teaching them how to blow. So it's just a little tactile cue as well. Just a little push. I'll say, ooh, push. Oh, we got it. Something has to come out. Air. If you want to play a fun game, if your child thinks that's boring, I got a couple of objects here. So I found a straw. And you could practice blowing a pom-pom ball through the straw and making sure that they have a nice tight lip seal. If they don't, then you could practice giving kisses in the mirror. You could say, practice giving mommy kisses. And that way they're forming their lips. And if they need help, you're just gonna simply help them. Remember that the lips are oral articulator, and so it's a muscle and it needs to be trained. We're gonna work out our biceps. We're also gonna work out our lips. And then you can push on their stomach. You could have them blow into the straw. You could have them blow bubbles into chocolate milk. That's super fun. You could have them blow actual bubbles. Don't have bubbles with me right now, but that's a great one. Blow, 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 as much as you can. Because that essentially with the tongue, just like we practice sticking your tongue out, that is the same thing. It's just happening inside your mouth. So I'm sticking my tongue out. Now I'm gonna do that inside my mouth while I blow. And letting that air come right out the front of your lips. Okay, so now we went over tongue placement, lip placement, and a couple of different options. Here's another fun one. You could have your child lay all the way on their back, put a tissue on their face and tell them to blow it up. Super fun. And then I found toilet paper roll holders here. You could paint these first. You can make it a whole activity. And I didn't have any pom-pom balls, but I did have popcorn. So I have my little cup of popcorn here, and you could practice. You're just going to place it in here and blow it out. And that's a fun little game that you could play back and forth with each other. And that's a couple of different ways that you could practice blowing and then turning it into your SH sound. All right, and so remember to push on the diaphragm if your little one isn't blowing air out. Now for the CH sound, your tongue is gonna be right behind your teeth at the top of your mouth. And then I like to do my choo-choo train sound. So choo-choo, And you'll notice my lips are coming out every time. They're very similar to the same placement as your SH. The only difference is that the tongue, instead of being in a forward out position, it's gonna be all the way up to the top of your mouth. And I always tell my friends, look right here, whenever my arm is out for my choo-choo sound, whenever my arm comes down, your tongue comes down at the same time. Ready? So I'm gonna hold my tongue up to the top. The train's getting ready, and then it goes, choo. I know you can't see my tongue right now, but your tongue pulls down while your arm comes down. And that's a little visual, verbal, tactile cue for that CH sound. And again, like which, watch in that final position, or you could do cheese in the initial position. So initial position, final position before you move on to the medial position. And that's some tips or tricks for CH and SH. Thanks for watching.